So, hi guys, I wanted to vlog to you today about a couple of approaches that I made day before yesterday, and about the whole daily approach and how it really is the tonic to one's daily blues. I just wanted, before I get into the detail of that, and I actually recorded one of those interactions, and I'm going to bolt it on to the end of this vlog. She was a married girl, quite happily married, very much in love. In fact, it turned out at the end there's a break in the audio as a result of that. So it didn't go anywhere, and actually it's kind of, in a way, it's quite a good illustration of how you're not going to get it perfect, and sometimes it can be a bit too social. But I'll delve into all of that. I just wanted to first say that thank you very much for the comments that I'm getting on the channel. That they're few, but they're quality and high caliber, and I love the fact that I think that the guys who are watching this channel, you know, are regular guys, smart guys, and it's great to have a high caliber audience, which is far more important than, you know, zillions of hits. I mean, obviously everybody loves to have lots of hits, but I'm not doing this professionally to earn money. I don't earn anything from it. I'm doing it for the love, because I enjoy it. I enjoy vlogging, I enjoy sharing. I also enjoy working out my own issues with you guys as a sounding board, which is a rather unique approach to life and dealing with the windy road that is life's journey. So anyway, thank you for those comments, and if I don't respond straight away, I'm sorry about that. I just have so much else going on that it's that I'm only really able to get around to it every comments every once in a while. You can email me, of course, which will get probably a higher level of attention and response than a comment. So I also just wanted to say that by way of future vlogs, I'm going to do a Tinder vlog. I've been working with an American photographer who is into this whole area of being photogenic and, you know, enhancing your social media presence, including obviously dating profiles, but not just that Instagram or, you know, pics for work or whatever it might be. And I have, you know, been ticking along with Tinder. I don't think it's very kind of enjoyable, quite frankly. It's an interesting project now that we've got these new photos and creating a better profile. But I think as a sort of like, although what can get you results, and the two girls that I'm dating at the moment are both through Tinder, in terms of actually doing things in your life that are rewarding, that are stimulating, that lift your vibe, which is what this video is all about. Day game, daytime approach, whatever you want to call it, just knocks everything else out of the park. It's just a great thing to integrate into your life, this sort of learning these skills of social intelligence and how to flirt and romance girls as you go about your ordinary day-to-day. But anyway, I am going to be doing something on Tinder because it is interesting, and it's quite a good supplementary thing. I'm also going to be vlogging on a few vlogs ago I talked about the code, like the master key, the way to acquire skills, and the general principles that one can apply to the acquisition of any skill. Maybe you can't do everything in life that you'd like to do, but you can do anything in life that you want to do, but you can't do everything in life that you want to do. Choose what it is you want, what sort of skills, hobbies, pursuits you want to master, and maybe you'll get something from this future vlog on the code that applies generally across the acquisition of any skill, whether it's sporting, music, or approaching girls. Because I really do think there is a code or a set of general principles that can be applied across all those things, and hopefully I talk from experience. I'm talking about golf, playing the piano, and approaching girls, etc., etc. And I think actually I'm going to do a vlog on golf because I think it's really interesting. It teaches you so much about life generally in a way that I couldn't imagine, because I'm not a golf person. So and it is also an excellent parallel or metaphor for approach and acquiring these skills for the long term and making them part of who you are. So I will now get into the vlog podcast. It's audio only, sorry, and I don't have any qualms about uploading it, because I'll never see this girl again, and it was a nice conversation. So the first thing to say is, you will notice as you listen to it that it's quite social, and I never really found a way in to generate the sort of sexual vibe, flirtatious energy that you need, because you need to generate attraction. I'll make a couple of attempts to find a topic to tease her or challenge her on, and that's the key of an approach. Once you get into it, and you're finding your way in the dark a little bit, going with your instincts, being in the moment, feeling stuff that arises there rather than stuff that arises here. Also, it's quite a physical thing, so you can't tell from this audio what I was doing physically. At one point, I got closer, looked into her eyes, took her hand when I introduced myself. So you can deliver that flirtatious vibe physically in the street, not just verbally, of course. So but it's interesting to watch. There's an earlier section where I guessed correctly where she was from, and I could have done the classic vibing on. I've got a friend who lives in Belarus, and says that girls are very sweet and nice, quite friendly, but there's a smouldering fire within when you take them out after hours, something like that. And I only kind of found another topic later on. You can see how I use assumptions at different points, which was that she was very precise. But by then, and I think it's interesting that the girl is your mirror, but I think probably looking back on it, it was never really on, because she was never really interested in anything romantic, although she was enjoying the conversation, definitely enjoying compliment. So have a listen to that. But interestingly, other than also I was a bit too, you've got lovely eyes, you've got classy look, it's important to go in with a compliment, because the girl then is enjoying the conversation, and often if you don't just tell her that you find her attractive and pay a compliment, she can end up feeling a little bit like you're criticising her or something like that when you try and tease and challenge. So it's always good to start with that, because you can always then switch gears, once you are in the conversation, once she's not walking away and giving you the gift of her time, then you can, and of course you're not necessarily warmed up, particularly when you make a spontaneous approach in the street like this was. I said I made two approaches. One was in the morning, one was in the afternoon, both of them. I've been walking to the office recently, practicing Polish, listening to some audio, and so it's quite easy to take the headphones off and to flick the voice memo on my phone to record this. And it was just so looking back on it was quite social. But I was very much confident. I think you can tell that I've been doing a lot of this and have gained the confidence to simply stay in the conversation. And that really is important, particularly for beginners, to simply stay in the conversation. So, yeah, I hope you find it amusing. It's she was probably late 20s, maybe early 30s. Very sweet girl. I don't think if I'd got the number I would have followed up, because she seemed a little bit too young for me. Not necessarily an age thing, just too young. So I just wanted to come on to some general points about approaching. I find myself with these approaches that I do occasionally, that I've kind of got a yardstick, which is two girls that I'm currently dating, another girl that I really like but it didn't happen earlier this year, and I mean, it's partly that I'm choosy and picky, I guess, and partly that I'm just not interested any longer in just having some fun. I've been there and done that, and once you've read the sequel to Too Late Mate, which I'm going to call The Last Date, you'll understand why. And I'm also a little bit old-fashioned. I mean, I'm looking for a wife, a long-term relationship, and but also there's kind of like a deeper thing, and I think in a way this journey has different phases. And whereas initially it was about owning my masculinity, being sexual, being romantic, leading, all of that stuff, not being a friendly social friend zone kind of a guy, which had been my problem historically before I got into this stuff. It's like now it's like more about relationship, and I just find myself thinking about the two girls that I'm currently dating after I've made an approach like I did to these two Belarusian girls. I think it's because I see that it's now not kind of like a journey about owning my sexuality, being a man. It's more like making the relationships that I've currently got work, because it's not like a perfect world. You can go chasing perfection or trophy wives or trophy sex. It's more about like one of the two girls I'm dating. It's like just recently we had a lunch together. She talked about wanting to be a wife, and I thought, hang on, have I got this wrong? Because I had always assumed, because it has been quite a long kind of dating sequence with this girl, that she just was lukewarm. That's why she wouldn't meet more often. But now I'm thinking, and this may be something to do with age. She's in her late 30s. She's actually said during this lunch that her views of men have changed. Who she's attracted to is quite radically changed, and she really has to be with an older man. Interestingly, both of them said that. In fact, both girls I've dated said that. And it's like, well, hang on, maybe she is extremely interested in me, but is waiting for me to, propose marriage to her or whatever. the point being is it is easy to assume that a girl's not interested, because if a guy is interested, he'll meet the girl every other day, every day of the week, and want to sleep with her every day of the week, at least the first. But if a girl is interested, she doesn't necessarily act in the same way, and it's probably something to do with she's got experiences in the past. She's had the adventure sex. She doesn't need to do that. She can get that on tap. The girl is worried about trust. She's worried that she can't trust the guy, and her sort of instincts as a homemaker, as a mother, and so on and so forth. She needs someone who's going to be there for her. She needs to feel safe. Something else that came up in the conversation, secure in the long term. And it makes me wonder whether or not, in a way, as much fun as approaching is, and I do love to do it, and I think it's important that I do it. Number one, it lifts my vibe. Number two, it means that keep my hand in terms of helping others, helping students, and also I'm just genuinely interested in developing the skill. I find acquiring skills, whether it's golf, playing the piano, writing a script, or approaching girls in the street, I just find that a very, very enjoyable pursuit. So, fine, and I'll continue to approach. But I've got to be careful that I don't kind of become the eternal kind of Casanova character. Because it's no longer really satisfying. It's kind of could become an avoidance technique. I've met girls on Tinder, I've met girls in the street. And it seems to me more important to make what you've got work and go chasing rainbows. And the second girl, actually, I've started to have more of the frame. She's starting to message me more often, wants to see me more often. And now I'm wondering whether she's the right girl. Both of these girls, physically attracted, 9 out of 10. I couldn't want for a better level of attractiveness and charisma. But I'm now really thinking about, what about living with them? Is that going to be the girl that I'm going to spend the rest of my life with? And as you get older as a guy, you get a little bit more set in your ways, or a little bit more circumspect about hitching your cart to some old horse, and so there's a whole, I don't have any answers here. I'm just explaining that I think that there's the reason that I'm not going out and adventuring is because it's become an avoidance technique from addressing the core issues, one's own sort of interpersonal development. And I think it's important to be in relationship. I think a man grows in relationship and can get a bit old and stale and set in his ways if he doesn't. I think it's a way of staying young. It doesn't have to be this. You see, guys who are watching this, who are into this world, who get it, the pennies drop, they've got the knowledge, they aren't likely to make the foolish mistakes that the youngsters make when they get into marriage and get children, and then the wheels come off, and then they lose half their worldly wealth or whatever it might be. And that's a fear that an older guy has, but really actually the older guy, you, has a wisdom such that you are far less likely to make that mistake. And actually maybe the challenge for you is you need to open your heart a bit. You need to have the courage to bite the bullet and take a risk with a girl. Only you will know where you are. I mean, this is, life is a process of self-knowledge, growing in self-knowledge, in my view. as well as letting go, dissolving impediments and things that get in the way of, you know, full realization and feeling of freedom as we walk through life. So that's a little sort of nugget of golden relationship knowledge for me, at least. Because just going forward and approaching loads and Tindering it is not necessarily the solution. It may be I need to learn, have the courage to love more the girls that I'm currently with, and maybe this whole thing, chasing girls and approaching girls and spending our lives on Tinder, is actually an avoidance technique. We're avoiding, you know, opening up. Could be. Self-knowledge. I think it was the inscription on the oracle at Delphi in ancient Greece, know thyself. I studied classics at university and I never gave that inscription much thought. Know thyself. Okay, what does that mean? But I kind of begin to understand what it means. If you really know yourself, then you are far more likely to act appropriately. So thank you for tuning in, listening to yours truly. Whatever else I've said in the last 20 odd minutes, one thing to me is clear, is that being able to approach girls as you go about your day to day, talking generally now to the world as well as to myself, is just such a fantastic superpower. For these two Belarusian girls, even though they were married, it was like I came away walking on air, better able to engage with the girl at the coffee shop where I bought my sandwich, deal with situations or tensions at work, not get annoyed on the golf driving range like I vlogged about last episode. You know, and expand that, take that beyond the world of romance and flirtation. Because after you have a great conversation with the girl, you do just feel like you're turned outwards and you're meeting the world that's in front of you. And actually, I think that's probably where our happiness truly lies, just meeting the world, you know, and being present every minute, every microsecond of the day, rather than being involved and engaged and focused always on getting something in the future. One of the reasons that meditation is powerful is it does allow you to let go of those deeper, often quite sort of selfish ambitions that would probably be realised anyway if you were just simply present. You don't need to get so attached to work and involved and engaged in that's one of the benefits of meditation. Again, it helps you see what is really driving you. So, but anyway, God bless the day game gods. God bless Tom Torero. Someone commented that they often think of him, and yeah, so I get you, buddy. So do I often think of him. He's been such a guiding light. I often see him on my shoulder. So yeah, I'll be vlogging next time, either about Tinder or either about the code, the acquisition of skills, and maybe you'll see whether I'm any good at golf after. Strap on your balls, you bastards. It don't take much. See a girl in a coffee shop and they're sitting down and you're a single guy and you're not married in a relationship, a happy relationship, then it is dead cool to acquire the skills to be able to go up and approach them. And if not, get them into your life, at least make their day and make yours. Bye for now. Excuse me. Sorry to interrupt you. You speak a little English.
Yeah.
I just wanted to tell you that I just walking by, and I couldn't help come back and tell you I think you look very nice.
Oh, thank you so much. This is so cute.
You look very kind of classic.
Thank you.
I'm guessing you have just been on a big shopping expedition.
No.
Have you rang up a very large credit card bill on your shopping expedition? Anyway, you look very relaxed. People are rushing around and busy.
Yeah.
Perhaps you're a lazy student who's got
No,
just
I'm a
finished
hard worker, but today I decided to enjoy the last summer vibes.
Yeah, it's lovely,
Yeah.
isn't it? Actually, we've had a lovely autumn this year.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's expected to be so.
really, is it going to be good? A good September?
I don't know, but I hope so.
I'm guessing that you are. I don't think you're from Poland.
Yeah, I'm not from Poland originally.
I think you're quite softly spoken and elegant. I think you're from Belarus. I'm going to
Yeah,
go.
you're right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's funny that you just. I used to go to Minsk quite a lot. Yeah, and I dated a girl there
I
2
was
years
born
ago.
there.
Really?
Yeah, and I moved since 3 years ago. Yeah.
Okay. And
And I live here.
you're happy here?
From time to time, as every person, you know.
Yeah.
It depends. You can't be happy always.
And are you in like, fashion or the arts?
I work as a fashion stylist. And
fashion
sometimes I
stylist.
also work as a model for brands.
What sort of a model? A hand model or a face model or a
Face and hand for some like brands of clothes.
brands of clothes?
Mhm.
Yeah. Well, it's very nice to say hello,
Yeah.
and you have beautiful eyes.
Thank you so
They
much.
have kind of like a tinge of golden brown in them,
It's a
don't
little
they?
bit. That's true.
Very, very, very classic, very stylish.
Thanks.
What's your name?
Alina.
Emelina.
Alina.
Alina.
Yeah.
Just Alyosha.
Losza?
You speak Polish? Pleased to meet you. So mówię po polsku.
Troszeczkę.
Troszeczki.
Tak.
I idziesz na szkołę języka polski?
Nie. Po
u-
prostu mówię.
Uczysz się w domu?
Tak.
Aha, w internecie.
Tak.
Bardzo dobrze,
Dziękuję.
Elina. Elina, I have to go. I've got a golf lesson.
Okay.
I'm a lawyer and a writer. I live in. Can you guess where I'm from?
England?
Yes, but which city?
Which city? I don't know. I don't know a lot of cities in England. I know London. That's all. Manchester.
Manchester.
Yeah. Liverpool. I don't know.
I love your accent when you say English words.
Okay.
No, it's great. It's good.
Because you
I
also
like
have
it.
very British way to speak.
Yeah.
It's not like American English. It's
Very good.
So-
I'm giving you +1 point for not confusing me with an American.
yeah.
But where did you learn English? Because you've
school.
been in. No, but you speak it very well, and you understand what I'm
In
saying.
Minsk, I had a very nice teacher in our school.
Uh-huh.
So we had like English lessons for 3 or 4 times a week. Then I moved to Europe and started to speak English more often. That's why.
You're very precise. You choose when you speak. I can see that you're thinking about how to construct a good sentence.
Sometimes, yes.
Perhaps you should be a teacher as well as a stylist.
Actually, I started my bachelor to be an English tutor, but because of protests and because of war started, I moved, and maybe I'll finish my bachelor later.
Or you have a future as a teacher?
No, I don't want to.
Well, you're not now, but maybe when you're older, it's something nice.
Maybe when I'm very, very older.
Very, very older.
Yeah, like a lot of years ahead.
Well, look, I'll let you go, but I'd love to swap contact details and send you a message. If you'd like to meet up sometime, I would be delighted.
Actually, I'm not meeting.
I thought, although I'm disappointed, because it would be nice to take you out for a date, I'm also kind of pleased in a way, the way that you are deeply in love and you're young. And has he, you know, I mean, that's terrific. Is he Belarusian or is he Polish?
Yeah, he's from Belarus.
Well, he's a lucky guy.
Yeah, and I'm a lucky girl also.
And,
to have
I haven't
nice
met him, but
husband.
I'm sure that's right.
Yeah.
I have a lot of time for the Belarusians, and they're not. Although it's very Russian in Belarus in terms of, you know, society, they're quite different from Russians and Ukrainians.
Yeah.
And I really enjoyed going to. In fact, I was thinking of buying a property there. I went and looked at the property over there. You know, in the country, a little cottage, and it's a terrific city. So anyway, have a lovely evening.
Thank you so much. It was nice to meet you.
Yeah, lovely chatting.
Yeah, and thank you for nice conversation.
You look great.
Thank you.
Good
Have a
night.
nice evening. Bye.
You too.